all right, folks. What's going on? Josh here, along with Boz. We're back in the mix here, back for the first time, I guess you can say, or like we never left. One of those things. Been a good little while here, probably a couple of months, but hey, we're back in action, bringing this to you on a Friday. Friday headed into the weekend, and we have some good stuff coming up. How you been there, Boz?
Oh, holding up, and it's been some challenges here, no, but no, it's all right now anyway, getting better. Mm,
Got you there, buddy. Yeah, rooting for you. For as we kick
Thanks.
things off, or before we jump and dive right into it, want to send condolences to the family of Random Acoustic Thoughts. Random Acoustic Thoughts, friend of the channel, friend of the show, passed away on May 12th after a battle with cancer. So we want to send our regards to his family. We have some great memories and some great captures here across the varying channels of some of the research that he put in some of the discussions surrounding boxing history. As you know, we love boxing history. So wanted to make sure to mention such and appreciate all the warm comments and things that have come in. That aside, we're gonna dive straight into it here, Boz. A lot of good fights, I would say, coming up here this weekend. So it'll be good to check those out there. And shout out to Rodolfo Rivera Jr., who
Man.
jumped into the mix with us here. Appreciate you there, Rodolfo. Always come through showing some love right there. So thank you there, Rodolfo. But yeah, we're gonna talk about some of these great fights we have here in the weekend. And
Yeah,
Boz mentions
I didn't know it, but now I know. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, I had heard that that was possible right there, Rodolfo. And we're talking about
Yeah.
World Cup, folks. World Cup, and yeah, that's going to be exciting right there.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
always happy when I get to see my guy Eden Dzeko
Oh
out
yeah.
there on the field doing his thing. One of the older players now.
He's
So
40. Yeah, he's
yeah,
very
yeah,
old.
we're in that same boat. Say, hey, we're the same age right there. So I'm rooting for Eden
Wow.
in
Yeah,
some
that's
capacity.
right. Yeah,
you know,
he's really old but still gold. Yeah.
Yes, 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 indeed. There, but yeah, no. Before we actually dive into the fights from the weekend, there, Bob, let's talk about this big fight that took place about a month ago now, and it was, I guess you could say, a classic type of viewing because it was a special fight that took place right outside of the pyramids of Giza,
Yeah.
and that is Alexander Usyk, world heavyweight champion, previously undisputed world heavyweight champion, but still in some sense you could say he is. But he was taking on the most dominant kickboxer, as far as I'm concerned, or what I've heard ever, Enrico Verhoeven, who's a heavyweight kickboxer who hadn't lost a fight since 2013 and been on a crazy streak, pretty much wiping out all competition in the kickboxing world. So that was a major fight in front of the pyramids. Would have been amazing to be there as well, but it was not without controversy either there, Boz, because it was stopped at the end of the 11th round. And generally, after the bell, as the referee did not hear the bell and therefore stopped the fight after the bell due to Usyk being, or due to Verhoeven being hurt after what seemed to be a pretty dominant performance for Verhoeven from my perspective, Boz. So I want to get your thoughts on that fight overall and what you thought of that stoppage there at the end.
Well, that was a big surprise. I mean, I think most of us, like 97%, expected Usyk just to basically roll over Rico because, Rico had one boxing match before. It was an easy one against some, nobody basically. And, in kickboxing, you never go longer than 5 rounds. And so I also thought he would tire, in the later rounds, like 8, 9, or something. But yeah, I mean, credit to him. He ended up pretty much dominating the fight until that sudden stoppage, which was kind of suspicious. I mean, yes, he was dropped by Usyk, and then he was caught by a big combination. However, it was at the end of the round, and he wasn't totally gone, I thought. So, yeah, it was very Quite questionable anyway. And I saw actually now, just now, a minute ago, that he is going to appeal. He has appealed that decision, yeah. So
Oh,
many people were really incensed and unhappy about that stoppage because, had he, there was just one more round to go basically, and if he was able to complete the fight, then he would have won, obviously on points.
mm-hmm.
Despite the knockdown and everything, he was. I think Usyk had won like two rounds maybe before that or something, which
I
was a
was
bit.
I know the scorecard for
Yeah,
maybe it was Chris Mannix. He had Usyk winning 2 rounds. I know
yeah,
myself personally, I was scoring it on fightscore.com or fight-score.com, buddy over there. And I had Usyk winning only 2 rounds up to that point as well. And I
yeah.
suppose is that where you kind of had him right there, somewhere around 2 rounds?
Mm. Yeah, he was being just. I mean, I couldn't believe he was being just outboxed, basically beaten up by this big guy. Bigger and heavier than him also. But the thing is, Rico is really a great athlete. He's not just tall and heavy and muscular. He's not too muscular. That's what is really a good thing
Yeah.
about him. Had he been like really like bodybuilder type, then he would be just very slow and he would have gassed by the sixth round. But he's not. He's a real athlete and he's a really tough guy. And as a kickboxer, I've seen some of his most famous fights. He'd
Okay.
get caught, by this huge, guy Jamal Ben Sadiq, who was who would drop him. He had dropped him several times in several fights, but each time he got up and he basically finished the business in the end,
Mm.
or won. So yeah, I doubt that he was really done in that 11th round, to put it that way. And I understand why he's upset, But this is about boxing world, like boxing politics, because they didn't want him, a kickboxer, to just be the best heavyweight on the planet, because that what would that say about boxing in general, especially heavyweight boxing, right? It would lose its face. So I think they when they saw him being down, and hurt, then after that it was like, okay, we stop it now. Good, good. Our face is saved now. Usyk has won. Okay,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just the fact that Usyk looked so poor before that. I mean, might be the age, probably might be all the big fights he's had, But yeah, he really didn't look good against kickboxer, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That style of Verhoeven kind of herky jerky arm movement and head
Yeah.
movement, I think that seemed to give Usyk some problems, and maybe stylistically, yeah, it was just something that wasn't duplicated in camp or whatnot,
Mm,
because it seems that Verhoeven, he has his own little unique style, and I don't know how easy it is to duplicate over a long period. And of course, once you're in there with the real guy, then it's a different story because that is their style and that's how they work. But yeah, Usyk seemed to have problems there just dealing with it over the course of the fight. And I, coming into it, thought that after about 3 rounds, then Usyk would take over. I think he let him kind of tire himself out, then he'd start to take over from there. But that really never happened. And I thought that Verhoeven maintained himself fairly well over the course of the fight. And you could see that he was well conditioned. Not only that, but they came in with the right game plan because he
yes.
used his body in there against Usyk as well when he was kind of leaning on him, all of that stuff. And I think
Yeah.
that factors in. And for me, I realized how massive of a guy Verhoeven is. He kind of reminds me, body wise, he's more defined, but he reminds me of Primo Carnera in terms of just
Oh yeah.
big, big guy that's just super massive, And if you see him in
Yeah.
person, you'll realize such. He
He
had
is.
trunks for legs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. but he's really cut. I mean, he's not
Yeah, more
too,
defined and ripped
yeah,
compared
ripped.
to
Yeah,
Primo. But for him and but like Primo, they're both just like kind of massive guys. And if you see them, you're just like, oh wow, that's a big guy right
yeah,
there, you know?
yeah. And at the same time, he's not like a giant like Fury, who
Yeah, right.
because of that he gets, he slows down. He has some problems maybe with the movement, with
Yeah, yeah.
avoiding
So
punches.
yeah,
Yeah,
so different than being just a tall guy, a big tall guy. Yeah,
yeah,
Verhoeven is just proportionally just a massive guy. You know, you
yeah,
can see there, and you can see that he was in top level shape as well. You know, so I'd
yeah.
imagine that factored in.
Totally. Yeah. He just was obviously too much for Usyk, and I mean, playing that age factor. I mean, Verhoeven is, I think, only like 2 years younger, I think, or something than
Hmm.
Usyk. Not much. Yeah, I think he's 37 now, and
Yeah, yeah, he's up there. So yeah, I think it's somewhere
yeah,
around there. So it wasn't too
yeah,
far off.
yeah. He's got like 66 wins as a kickboxer. I mean, he's been around for a while,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
been putting in work there for sure.
Mhm.
But I think he won. He won over boxing fans, I believe, in this contest as well. Some boxing
Yes.
fans, at the very least, from all indication, what I've seen out there, everybody feels that it was a stoppage that probably should not have happened at that particular time,
No,
and
definitely.
yeah, it just sort of puts a stain on it. I think, and I've said this on another sort of podcast or whatnot, that I think we were robbed of an all-time classic finish, regardless of what would have happened in that 12th round, whether or not it have been
Yeah.
Usyk stopping Verhoeven, it going to the cards, Verhoeven winning, it going to the cards, Usyk winning, but it would have been an all-time classic, memorable finish, though it
Mm.
still will be that for sort of the wrong reason, but I wish that 12th round would have taken place.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. I mean, yeah, you said it well. We were robbed of a classic finish. I mean, to see if Usyk would be able to, really finish him off. Or I, I, I myself, I don't know, but I doubt it because Rico is just so tough. It is, however, he's never been like 12 rounds before. Had never been taken that long. He was maybe slowing down, getting tired himself. It's true, but I mean, he is so tough. Definitely, as I said, he's had so many tough fights where he was knocked down, really hurt, but he just, just came back, got up, and basically, destroyed his opponents or won on points. So he's
Yeah.
really a
So
machine. Yeah.
So yeah, and in that regard, just thinking about this, Vibes, I had to look it up to remember because I knew that had it close. But what do you think of this at the time? Because we have our thoughts on how many rounds we felt Usyk won, and that's hey, we watch boxing. You know, we watch it. It's not that hey, everyone
Yeah.
sees the same thing. Judges see different things. I judge myself there. You see different things, but two judges had to fight 95-95. And then one judge had Verhoeven ahead by 2 rounds at 96-94.
Mm.
What do you think of that right there? Scorecards. Two had it even.
Yeah, that's really preferential judging. Obviously, like we have seen that too much by now. I mean, they were kind of getting ready. I think in case of because they knew that probably that Usyk was gonna come on strong in the last 2 rounds. So it's like by having in 95, it's like yeah, Usyk will win for sure. You just have to win the last
The
two
last.
rounds.
Yep.
Yeah, he gets a split decision if nothing.
Yep.
That's yeah, and
Wow.
like, or even a majority decision. He would
Yeah.
have obviously. Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Because at that stage, yeah, because I guess technically, yeah, that 11th round wasn't scored
ten
to
eight.
stop
Yeah,
there, but he
mm,
would have gotten that 11th round. He would
yeah,
have gotten 10-8. It would have been a 10-8
yeah,
11th
10-8
round.
for
Uh,
sure.
I believe it did Verhoeven go down once or twice in that 11? Do you recall, or was it once?
He was down once, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah,
once.
it likely been a 10-8. So yeah, with the way it was set up, yeah,
Mm.
that next round, regardless of even if Verhoeven won that last round, I think that yeah, Usyk would have still gotten it. Or yeah, interesting when you look at the numbers from that
Yeah,
perspective.
it's just yeah, it's crazy because we both agree that Usyk had only won 2 rounds before that 11. So that means Rico had won 8. And no matter what happened now, yeah, he got knocked down in the 11th, and even if he was knocked down in the 12th, I mean, still, he would have. It would have at least been a. Hang on, would have been a draw or maybe a 1 point victory for Rico. I don't know, something like that. Most likely, yeah.
Hey, boxing drama, folks. We're here,
Yeah.
boxing chit, boxing shit, Boz's boxing, 86 boxing. We're back in the mix here. We appreciate you being here. Be sure to subscribe to each of
Oh
the
yeah.
channels there. If you don't follow Boz's boxing, be sure to follow and subscribe to Boz's boxing. We're streaming live over there on
I
Boz's
got it.
boxing as
Yeah.
well. On other channels as well. So no, this is good stuff there, Boz. In relation to both of these guys, Usyk, it seems that Ajit Caballel may be next, just based on how they were drumming things up
Oh
there in the
yeah.
ring in the aftermath there. What do you think of that?
Oh yeah. That's the fight everybody wants to see, basically. The unbeaten Caballero, versus the number one, and yeah, that's gonna be a very interesting fight. I actually think, well, Caballero didn't look that impressive against Kaniba, the Polish
Oh, yeah.
guy. But, everybody can have a bad night. But against Usyk, he would definitely, I think that's the fact. He had expected an easy night, and it was tougher than he expected against Damian Kaniba.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then, but against Usyk, he would have gone in there really 100%, like prepared and all that. So yeah, I give him a good chance to win that fight actually, because he's not just a lot younger, and he's really a good body puncher, very good body puncher, and Usyk has barely met a really good body puncher. And however, you gotta remember which punch was he basically knocked out with by Dubois, but it was judged to be low. It was a body punch, right?
Yeah, it was a
So
body punch that
yeah,
had him down, and yeah, it was right there, like on the
yeah,
edge of the belt line, as far as we're concerned, on the belt line. It wasn't like low like we typically see.
yeah, exactly. So that's dangerous, obviously, because I don't know. Usyk is, I guess, very used to getting hit in the head and all that, and he can take it very well. But
Yeah.
when you get hit down there really hard, nobody takes that well. Like
And
Chin
Caballel
is
was
one.
good with that, with the way he
Yeah,
broke down Big Bang Jang
yeah, Big Bang Zhang and Makhmudov,
Makhmadov
and
as well,
yeah,
broken down to the body. So that does make it interesting.
yeah, huge guys, both of them. So when you get hit down there, I mean here, when you get hit, it kind of depends on your whole maybe well, it meant many factors, right? Some really take it very well, being hit here, in the head, in the face, but nobody can take it so well getting hit here in the body. It's just nobody has a steel body. You can have a steel chin, but you don't have a steel body, or a steel kidney, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's good stuff right there. And Bob, yeah, Rodolfo mentions I want to see Frank Sanchez versus Caballero
Oh
rematch. If
yeah,
you can flash another chance. And thinking of that, there before we
me
get
too.
to that, Bob, what are your thoughts? Do you think that the number one heavyweight, so Usyk is the champion? So okay, right now, number one, do you think is Ajit Caballero?
Uh, well, yeah, he's up. I don't know. He's up there, and who else is there really now? I mean, it's still too soon to call Moses Itono. I think number
Yeah.
one.
Let me look
So,
at the ring rankings too while you're pondering that. And Rodolfo, let us know what you think. Who do you think the number
yeah.
one heavyweight in the world is right now?
So, like, it might be probably there's him, and but Frank Sanchez, of course, had a really good knockout against Richard Torres, and he's always been a very dangerous opponent, and he got unlucky. You know, everybody knows against Caballero, he got unlucky. He injured his leg, you know, and
Yeah.
that led to I don't know why he fought on, but he did anyway, and it really ended badly for him. Yeah,
Rodolfo says it should be Rico. I feel you. Yeah, I feel you there, Rodolfo. He should be number one.
I don't
Um,
know who. Yeah, so there's
and Rodolfo said no one except the one dude who can take a cannonball to the stomach can take body shots. Oh yeah, yeah. I know you're talking about. There's a film out there on that guy or something of that nature that was something. That's funny there. But hey, the ratings have it like this, or at least Ring ratings. According to Ring, of course, champion Usyk number one. They still have Daniel Dubois, or they probably moved him up, I
yeah.
guess, because of beating Worley. Then they have
Well,
number
yeah,
two
he's
Caballero, three Tyson Fury, four Fabio
well.
Wardley, five Filip Hrgovic, who looked
Oh
pretty
yeah.
good. Then six Moses Atoma, seven Frank Sanchez, eight Efe Ajagba, nine Marat Gassiev, who's fighting coming up, and then Justice Hooney at 10. Not a bad overall lineup.
Yeah, I was surprised by Garcia being so high up. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if Hergovic beats Itama, then yeah, he should probably be ranked at number one. You know, because Itama is considered, Wunder kid, Kind, as they say in German, wonder child. And but yeah, it will be a very. It won't be easy for Hergovic definitely
that'll be a
to
heck
win
of a
that fight.
matchup. I think it's gonna be a heck of a matchup right there,
Yeah,
given the power of both.
yes, yes, it really is.
And,
Like the more younger, inexperienced knockout artist versus the little older and experienced and kind of technically probably superior Hergovic.
yeah, and I
Hergovic.
felt that Hrgovic in this last fight with David Allen, he looked the best that he's looked since
Yeah,
like probably about two years now, two plus years or something of that nature.
yeah.
Um, but I think
It
that's the
was
best he's looked, and he looked like what we expected him to look like many years back. You know.
yeah, it was target practice for him against Allen. Oh yeah, didn't expect him to win so easily, but yeah, he's really he's really bounced back after the first loss so far to Dubois, and he went into the fight a little overconfident. I think he thought he was
Yeah.
just gonna steamroll over Dubois. Then he gassed, after the fifth round, if I'm not mistaken. Then he
Yeah.
just got beaten and cut, and that was it. Beat up, I mean. So he's learned now from that
Yeah.
experience, definitely.
Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting one right there. Rodolfo says Tyson Fury ranked a little too high at number three just because he beat Makhmudov. I feel where you're coming from there. I do feel where you're coming from. I don't know if Makhmudov was still ranked at that particular time heading
Yeah.
into it, but I think some of that is the nostalgic aspect of it and the fact that Tyson Fury
Oh,
was one of these top guys. You know what I'm saying?
by the way, that was one stinker of a fight, I gotta say.
Yeah, I still haven't watched it, but I heard that I
Nah,
could watch just the highlights and I'd be fine.
yeah, don't bother. Really, there even highlights. I don't know what could possibly be picked as a highlight. I mean, it was one of the most boring fights of the year so far.
Oh yeah, yeah, very very interesting right there. So Tyson Fury, I guess he's still in the mix, but it looks like it's going to be Fury versus AJ. That's the fight they're trying to make. That's going to be the big one for them.
Yeah,
So it'll be interesting. Now on the other half of that, of course, Rico Verhoeven. I want to see him back in there. So I feel like he has a number of options now. You know, in terms of maybe
yeah,
crossover fights. He's moved on to boxing, so I guess the crossover aspect is still kind of there from his kickboxing days, but still,
yeah.
fight between himself, like say Francis Ngannou, you got something like that. You got him against someone else that is out there in the heavyweight division that may be a worthy challenge. It could be even someone coming from another organization or something of that nature. Him and John Jones boxing or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well,
but you never know. But I know John Jones is tied to his contract or whatever over there
yeah,
in the UFC. But I want to see Rico Verhoeven again. It's not going to be an immediate rematch, so it'll be interesting to see if he just waits out, or if he fights someone else boxing wise.
Well, I think you would want the biggest names. You would never fight someone like, well, let's say Frank Sanchez. No matter how good he is, he's not a big name, yet. And
Yeah, no.
so even Caballel Caballel might be big enough now, anyway. But he would like to fight, I bet, someone like Fury or Dubois or
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua, even maybe. Who knows? So, but Fury and Joshua, as I understand, are have reached the agreement to have to fight. I don't know exactly when, but
Yeah.
they are I think reaching it or
Yeah,
about.
I think they have, and I think I saw something where it was kind of locations are being thrown out there. Vegas wasn't considered a location, all that stuff. But what makes sense,
Yeah.
of course, as we all know, is Wembley Stadium probably makes the
Oh
most
yeah.
sense.
That will be an amazing finish. I don't know if it will be the last fight of their careers, but it would be an amazing way to go out. But
Yep.
I'm only sad that the fight didn't happen in 21 when it was
Right.
supposed to happen. So because then, oh my God, what a fight that would have been.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, yeah. I was looking at as I was reading through those rankings. One thing absent there, Boz, was in the heavyweight rankings. No American heavyweight is there in the top 10 rankings. And as far as all things considered, I guess the highest ranked American heavyweight, well, I guess would still be
Oh,
Deontay Wilder, but I don't know where he sits right
oh
now.
yeah,
In the rankings, he probably sits somewhere top 15, maybe, but realistically speaking, I don't
mm,
know. But that being said, you're thinking about that aspect of it and kind
yeah.
of some of those
It's
fights that missed out. Yeah, Fury versus Joshua would have been even bigger, back a number of years
yeah.
ago. A combination of Wilder versus Joshua, I think that would have been huge. And when the two were undefeated, I think that would have been the number one fight in boxing for a
Mm,
short stint there when they had the possibility of making it. And I think if they would have had it over in Wembley Stadium or something like that, then it would have immediately sold out because you would have
oh
had
yeah.
two guys
That
going at it, even more so than the Wilder Fury one. I just think if they would have matched up at that particular time back then, it would have been huge, and we didn't get to see that, of course.
yeah. No, I mean, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, no, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, I
Yeah, I
also
got you.
might mention that we got to see, we all got to see Bakodir Jalolov, now for the first time in a fight, in a relevant fight, and he was pretty disappointing.
Mm.
That gold medalist from Uzbekistan.
Oh, I hadn't watched the fight, so he didn't look too hot.
Nah, he was fighting this very average guy from Croatia, Smakici, and he got hit way too much. I mean, he did win, of course, by corner retirement, but he didn't look that hot. No, it was more that Smakici gave up. He just
Okay.
couldn't take. I don't know if he got injured or what happened, but yeah, it just didn't look good. So Jalolov,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
interesting because we're still waiting on that sort of big fight, that sort of step up moment for him. And I was under, one of the things I wanted to see was potentially him and Richard Torres go at it here in the pro ranks. And of course, going back, we saw Richard Torres versus Frank Sanchez and what happened right there, which I think was an excellent setup and punch
yeah.
there by Frank Sanchez. And Richard
Oh no,
Torres, body wise, he looked the best that I had seen him over the course of his
yeah.
career. Just got caught, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he just did it. He just first of all, he's not a very tall guy for a heavyweight.
Yeah,
Today, it's like very. It's not like like in the '90s or the early 2000s where you still had guys that were like 6 feet, 6'1", six
yeah,
two. It's very few who are that height among the heavyweights. Yeah, well, yeah. I just remember what I want to say. This is the first time in history that there are virtually no top American heavyweights around right now. Can you
yeah,
believe that? We never thought it would be possible. It's
yeah.
just yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
we're certainly lacking. I guess Richard Torres is one of them. And
Yeah,
he was just stop. He got caught in. I definitely think he can bounce back from this. You
Mm.
have some coming up. Jared Anderson, he was viewed and touted as that guy, but I think his confidence seemingly is gone after that loss to
But
Bacoli.
Coley, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he is. I don't know. Maybe we'll see what he can do down the road.
he
Then of
really,
course Wilder is still hanging out there. At least what version of
yeah.
him is left is out there. But yeah, there's
Mm.
really no other guy right now that I can think of
Wilder,
in that
yeah,
top 10. Oh, Rodolfo mentioned Joshua Edwards. He's on the come up. He's probably got about like 6 fights or something like that. 6 or 7 fights, if that. And he was an Olympian, or he
mm.
comes from that U.S. amateur system at the very least. And he's one of the top guys on the American side that is coming up right now. And he's looked pretty good against the opponents that he's been in there with. He's had one fight that was kind of a you know, stinker in
Mm.
some sense, or at least he didn't look as impressive. But
Yeah,
that being said, he is someone that is out there. But realistically speaking, no, it's going to be it's going to be tough to crack that top 10 for an American heavyweight right now, unless something miraculous comes about, some kind of crazy win with Wilder or something to get himself back in that top 10, depending on who he goes up against next.
yeah. But Jarrell, Big Baby Miller is still
Oh
out
yeah,
there, but yeah,
oh
but
yeah,
he's the guys he's beaten now are not like that Cuban. I think he beat last Paro.
oh
He
yeah.
didn't looks that great. I mean, but yeah,
Yeah, I
still
forgot about Big Baby Miller. Yeah,
when
I'm
you
still kind of torn and on the fence with him,
yeah.
just from overall standpoint. And
Yeah, I
then
think he's on his last leg. Obviously, he's 37. So,
yeah,
and considering his shape, it's like
right, right. Yeah,
he's
there's no
not
doubt
one of
about that.
those. Yeah, not one of those fighters that can go till they're 41 or something and look good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, right. No, I think that factors in. I definitely think that factors in there for sure. American fighters nowadays got a bad rep in taking big layoffs and not being motivated. That's what Rodolfo says. That
yeah,
I feel you there, Rudy. I
yeah.
feel you. And
Spoiled.
yeah,
That's it. Yeah,
and I think that some have gone to other sports. I can tell you from this perspective, just being here in the area, I'm in DC, and we are one of the more talented areas in the boxing space and sphere here, just across the nation, right? But one thing about even being here in this area, factoring in like the amateur side and all of that, it's still hard to find heavyweights. It's hard to find heavyweights to spar with that are legitimate heavyweights. For instance, that's something that is prevalent, even though we have this vast amount of talent in the area, and I think that's probably across the board here in the U.S. Just finding that heavyweight talent,
mm,
just to be able to work with on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of shows signs of where the American heavyweight is at this particular stage.
yes, it's a great drought at the moment. I don't. I mean, it's bound to end at some point. It's only a matter of time, when it happens. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like, because there will be a few of these, like Usyk and Fury and Anthony Joshua, will retire in not that long, obviously.
Yeah,
So then it will be created a vacuum which will allow, I guess, more American fighters to get in that picture, the big picture. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, and if you look at who has the most potential right now, it seems that it might very well be Moses Atoma. That seems like the next
Yes,
young guy.
he will definitely, most likely, fill that void. Yeah.
Yep,
Mm.
yep. And yeah, I don't see any American heavyweight on the landscape right now that could beat him. So
No,
it
no.
is what it is right there. It
Yeah,
is
he
what it is.
able to knock out Jermaine Franklin like that. I mean, 5 rounds. The guy went the distance against Joshua and William White.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he
Mm.
is something special. Again, folks, we're here, Boxing Shit. It's myself, Josh, along with Boz. You know what it is. We're back after a good long while right here, and we're talking boxing. We're just talking to heavyweights. Hey, on the landscape here, Boz, we have a huge fight this weekend going down at the Barclays Center in New York. We're going to finally see, I guess you can say, both of these guys tested at a level that they haven't been tested before in some sense, or at least on paper, I would say. And that's going to
Yeah.
be Xander Zayas taking
Oh
on
yeah.
Ron Boots Ennis. That's going to be the main event, 154 pounds. These are two fighters who have, from all indication, high ceilings, and we finally get to see a matchup with Boots here at 154, where we're gonna say afterwards, and Zayas as well. We're gonna say afterwards for both of these guys. Okay, yeah, he is the real deal from all indication, or at least in some sense. I want to get your thoughts on that potential matchup right there, or not potential matchup, but a matchup that is happening here this weekend. There,
Yeah.
boss.
It's Zayas is very young, only 23, but he's already achieved achieved quite a lot for his age, and he's a world champion, and he seems to be more like a technical fighter rather than a
Yeah,
puncher, and that's very interesting because I think that's of course, if you want to be the puncher, then just match him against a boxer, a technical guy. So
yeah,
usually the boxer wins in that matchup. I think most times, like for instance, Floyd Mayweather versus who did he fight? Well, let's not.
Pacquiao.
Yeah, Pacquiao or Ricky Hatton. Well, not Hatton, Maidana, maybe
Yeah,
someone like that.
Maidana.
Yeah, yeah. So
Don't feel Madonna won that first fight.
yeah, the first fight though is not a good example. It was a tough one, really. For yeah, but yeah, I think he would be so huge if he won this fight, of course, because Ennis is 35-0, and
Yeah,
really wrecking machine basically. So yeah, the only guy he didn't stop of the top opponents was of course Chukadzian, and
yes. and
that's a very tough Armenian. Of course, they are very known for their toughness.
and
So
he moved pretty darn well.
yeah, there you go. So yeah, well, I don't know really. I mean, I'm not gonna predict who will win, but of course, most people will pick Boots to win this fight. But who knows? I won't be surprised if Zayas wins it. I mean, yes, he's
No,
very
okay.
talented. Mm.
Good to go. No, hey, I'm with you there. Yeah, I lean towards Boots winning it. Jerron Boots in it, even though he's moving up in weight. Zayas is bigger. That's what was
So yeah,
revealing for
right.
me when I saw the two together there for the first time. Of course, before of course they're going to be trimmed down and come today. I guess weigh
Yeah,
in the weigh-ins today, but when it was first announced and they had their first face off, I was like, okay, yeah, Zayas, hey, he got some size on him, so. Boots is gonna have to put in some work moving up there to try and dethrone Zayas.
yeah.
Zayas, I do think he's been brought up fairly well here on the top rank side. So we've seen a number of his fights, and he's felt what it's like to be the headliner, all of that stuff. It's going to
Mm.
be in New York, so he's going to have a ton of support. Philly is right around the way, so I'd imagine Boots will have a good deal of support as well. So I think the atmosphere will be pretty live. Now, I do lean slightly towards Jerron Boots Ennis, maybe a bit more than slightly in actuality. At the end of the day, I just think he has more tools in the bag. I think he is like the better overall talent. And
Mm.
when I see Boots and I think about guys, and I'm only saying from a viewing standpoint, who look historically different compared to their contemporaries when they're in the ring with them. I view Boots as one of those individuals. He just looks different stylistically,
Mm.
and his athleticism and the way he throws punches, moves. I just think he has such a high ceiling, and him reaching that, I think, will be, top of the sport, pound for pound type ceiling. If he can reach that, and maybe this is the matchup, the step forward that he needs to really submit himself as that guy. And Zayas at 23, he'll have time, regardless, to bounce back. And I'd imagine learn from this fight. Both of them will learn from it. But I just lean towards Jerron Ennis. I just think he'll have a bit too much for him. I've said decision here leading up to where we stand currently. And I know Zayas has a pretty solid chin and all. But I'm going to go ahead and change that right here, right now, because I think that Boots will put on the performance of a lifetime. I'm going to say eighth round stoppage, Boots Ennis.
Yeah, sounds very plausible, very logical. Yeah, I mean, still, Zayas, as I said, is talented, but he's very young and doesn't have that experience like Ennis or the power, So it's gonna be very hard for him to get a win here,
Yeah.
definitely. So yeah, everybody must favor Ennis, unless you are a Puerto Rican, of course, then you have to go for Zayas. But yeah,
And
no,
not
it's cool.
yeah, not to take anything away from Zayas, because he is a good
No,
boxer. He's a good young boxer.
no,
You know what I'm saying? I
exactly.
just feel that Boots is the better overall
Yeah, I
talent.
trust he will give a Boots a really good fight, definitely. Good challenge, definitely. So, yeah, I don't know. I would move it up to maybe 10th round or something, knockout, probably. Uh,
Yeah.
but it could go the distance. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
very
it
well.
could very well go
Yeah,
to. That's what I've been saying prior to
yeah,
now. I've been saying that, hey, I got it going the distance, but hey, we
yeah,
never know.
right, yeah.
Rodolfo says I'm Mexican, so I'm going for Boots. Got you there. I
You
got you
don't
there.
want
But yeah,
Zayas to win.
good stuff. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. There, I think a couple of belts on the line, if I'm not mistaken, that Zayas may have. But that being
Yeah.
said, 154 still has Sebastian Fendora, who probably
Oh,
is the number one, consensus number one guy at this particular stage.
hmm.
Then Josh Kelly has a belt. Remember, he picked it up with his win over the guy that knocked out Jaime Munguia, or not
Yeah.
the guy that knocked out Jaime Munguia, the guy that knocked out Tim Zoo. I can't think
Oh,
of his name.
yeah. And Keith Thurman, I mean,
Yeah. Oh
well,
yeah.
Fundora, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just gotta say, he finally stopped Thurman's mouth. I'm glad that he did that.
Oh yeah.
Thurman was just, "Wah, wah, wah."
But Thurman hasn't shut up about it, thinking that the fight was stopped too early.
Oh, yeah, right. Of course, he was gonna say that.
Yeah, so 154. Hey, we're poised for something right here. So these two, we're ready for the outcome of this matchup, and we'll
Yeah,
see. These two could have implications for where 154 sits here, as far as who can be the next guy up top, or potentially dethrone Fundora. Though I think that's going to be super tough for anybody right now at this stage. But we will see.
yeah.
We
I
will
see
see.
did he get stripped or he vacated the WBO belt Fundora? I just saw that. Okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't even
Yeah,
see that had happened. It could have been yeah, it could have been stripped, but
let's
I'm not
see.
sure. I have to look
Here
into
it
that.
should stand. No, it doesn't say. Well, I don't know. That's weird. The last two fights, it wasn't on the line anyway.
Oh,
Well,
okay. Maybe something's going on there. I had to look into it a
yeah.
bit further.
All
Um,
these strippings are crazy. I mean, I think IBF are the worst when it comes to the strippings.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
just strip their champion just like it's a bodily function.
yeah. They're pretty quick with it. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like a fight could be over for like 2 or 3 days, and then they're like, "Hey, you have 30 days to negotiate this fight." It's like, hold on,
yeah,
like I just finished.
yeah. If a fighter, have a feeling that they have a rule. If a fighter hasn't defended a title in over 6 months, I mean that's it. He's stripped. If it's gone more a day over 6 months,
Well, we've got some guys out there who've had titles for years. You
Yeah,
know,
Mr.
to
What
say
was
the
his
least.
name? That big Panamanian, Guillermo Jones. Yeah, I
Oh
was gonna
yeah.
say Del Toro, but that's a movie director.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Guillermo Jones, the El
I remember
Felino.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He 2 years without defending it. My God.
Same with
Wait.
Jamal Charlo.
Oh
WBC
yeah,
hold the belt for 2+ years. Yeah, it's all
yeah.
yeah. Then some others for a year plus. So yeah, it's wild at times for
It
sure.
is really. I mean, wow, it's just crazy. I think maybe I don't know about WBO, but those first three ones are really terrible when it comes to this. I mean, IBF is the yeah because of the stripping, and the other two for the opposite reason, not stripping the champions that they haven't fought for a year.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Very interesting for sure. These sometimes with the sexing stuff, very interesting. This card, Barclays, Emiliano Vargas, one of the sons of Fernando Vargas, he's going to be fighting on there against a guy by the name of Bryce Mills. It's going to be the co-main event, but also we're going to see the U.S. debut of, I think it's the U.S. debut of Ben Whitaker. He's going to be taking
oh
on Pai Rivera, this light heavyweight who was in with Badu Jack and actually had a split decision loss to Badu Jack in his first
oh that
yeah, that
yeah
guy. Yeah, that guy right there.
yeah Richard Rivera, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
Richard Rivera, Richard Papai
So
Rivera.
he's
So that
gone down. Wow, that fight was a cruiserweight fight. Now he's
yeah.
well,
So
yeah, I see. He was never a very big cruiserweight. I mean, when it
yeah.
comes to weight.
So a lot of people from what I've seen, they're pretty much riding with Whitaker, but I think many kind of just blowing past Rivera. I think it's going to be an interesting fight. And hey, I could be wrong. I think that Rivera will put up a fight, and he's very much a
Mm,
live dog. Whitaker, he has a lot of people touting him. He has
mm,
a unique sort of fan, depending on the type of fan friendly style in terms of playing to the crowd and all of that stuff. But what do you think
yeah,
there, being Whitaker?
he's got a very good movement and power, of course, but he hasn't fought like anybody really top notch yet. I mean, but
Yeah,
yeah, so far it's been very impressive against the lower level opponents, definitely. Well, he's already 29. Wow. He's got only 12 fights. So he started late as a pro.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it interesting. So you think on the fast track. So one of the things we will have to find out about is, despite how he's looked and all that stuff,
Mm,
uh, is he top of the division type of is he the top of a division type of guy? You know what I'm saying? Is he the type of guy that
yeah.
can I guess you got to move past Dimitri Bivol or better Biev at this stage, but certainly Dimitri Bivol. Can't, how would he
Yeah.
look with a Dimitri Bivol or something? And of course, he's fought nowhere near that level of competition. I think we're still
No.
trying to figure out. But hey, that's something. 29, so he should be in his prime right now. You know.
Yeah. He should. And if he beats Rivera, he has a belt. And anyway, that puts him there in the challenger spot. I mean, in the waiting room. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's essentially what it is. Waiting room there. No, good stuff. So yeah, we'll see how that flows. Then we have also Boz on Sunday, Zuffa Boxing. We're gonna have Jose Valenzuela, Rayo Valenzuela taking on Edwin De Los Santos, and it's gonna be a rematch. And this is gonna be a contest that is gonna be Zuffa Boxing. They're the new sort of new kid in town or new kid on the block. It is a rematch. I think yeah, Rayo got that, or De Los Santos won the first victory when the two matched up. A lot of momentum for Valenzuela. He's fought a number of good fighters since that particular time, and he seems to be in his stride. Has a title, and it'll be an interesting matchup for De Los Santos. He hasn't fought in a while now because if you recall, he was going to fight Keyshawn Davis, and Davis came in overweight,
Mm,
so De Los Santos did not fight. So I think it's probably
right.
been about a year or more since he's actually been in the ring.
Wow. Yeah. That's not a great situation. well, it happens too much. I feel like
Yeah.
fighters go without fighting for over a year, and yeah, like what was his name? Lee Wood. Yeah, when he came back over after over 1 year, he was beaten up by Kakache. He was basically stopped. I think
Oh yeah.
was it first. No, it wasn't the first time, but like Kakache. Yeah, he's very good, but he's hasn't had have many knockouts on his record. So
And I did look it up. It seems like he did. So De Los Santos, he actually did step in the ring. So he hadn't fought since 2023, November 2023, until fighting in the Dominican Republic in December of last year. That one kind of went under the radar, I guess, or I don't
yeah,
really recall it. So this is his first fight since December of 25. So he did step in there apparently, which is interesting. I did not know that was the case.
he fought Shakur.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Shakur, my boy. He's the new Floyd Mayweather, basically.
yeah. That fight constantly gets trashed there for sure. His fight with Shakir.
Oh yeah. Wow, I
So,
just can't wait. I mean, Shakur is supposed to maybe there's talking about him fighting Haney, of course, and that would be wow, what a fight.
yeah, that would be an interesting one. I don't like it at a catch weight, but that being said, hey, I guess you got to do what you got to do. And Haney's he's down for it. He's shown that he'll fight
Yeah,
whoever. There's also rumors of Haney versus Gervonta Tank Davis as well that are being
wow.
thrown out there. So we'll see.
Well, it's
We
time for one of those fights to happen, definitely. I mean, Haney, God can't avoid both of them for very much longer.
yeah no yeah so yeah there's certainly yeah some chatter, and these are fights that we felt probably could have happened, and
Hmm,
I guess better now than never, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we've been wanting
yeah,
to see some combinations of these particular matchups here. Also, hey, Lomachenko's out of retirement, so looking forward to what's next for him as well when he
oh,
makes his comeback.
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Hmm,
there was some kind of announcement or something of that nature. Loma is back, so I don't know if an opponent has been decided yet, but that being said, he is no doubt back in the mix here, for sure. Like you
yeah,
mentioned, and then yeah, we're gonna have a great card coming up after this one. Gonna be that July 4th weekend, so I guess we'll talk about that the next one there, Boz. If
hmm,
that sounds good to you.
yeah, it does.
Hi, cool. Well, hey, this is great stuff right here. Good to be back in the mix there with your Boz again, folks. Hey, boxing shit. Josh here, Boz there. Be sure to go subscribe to the channel. Boz is boxing. Look him up here on YouTube. Hey, be sure to give us a like. Hey, we appreciate you dropping the comments, showing some love, all that good stuff. Rodolfo says Loma stayed at 130 though, which he should. Which hey, I'm good with that. I think that's fair and fitting for him right there. So we'll see what he can do. But hey, we appreciate you, Rodolfo, for dropping by, showing some love, dropping comments and all of that stuff. Hey, folks, we're back in the mix. We're gonna try to keep this thing going. Maybe Fridays is the day for us here moving forward, there,
Yeah,
bye. So we're gonna try to be back here. So check us out next week as well. We're gonna be coming back. We're gonna talk about what happened with the results here, and then that big card that's coming up next weekend. So appreciate everyone that's here in the mix with us, and enjoy your fight weekend, folks.
have a good